Gav, we're 3 days away from returning to Cymru Premier action against Cefn Druids. How excited are you to get back to competitive football?
Yeah, it's like Christmas. It's almost like the start of a new season again, and that's probably the way to look at it, I suppose. We've had probably 2 or 3 pre-seasons now, stop and start type things, but yeah, generally full of excitement, and we're going straight into a busy period. We've had a couple of games over the last couple of weeks to, try and get some minutes into the boys' legs, etc., and they've gone quite well. But at the same time, there's not 3 points at the end of it, and now there is.
What have sort of the last 2.5 months been like for you, in sort of in terms of keeping the squad focused and sort of keeping them fit as well?
In terms of focus, the boys have been great. It's not easy, It's a privilege training, obviously, because of the restrictions, etc. And we're hugely thankful for that. But training and not having anything at the end of it in terms of games is obviously quite difficult. As a manager, you've got to be careful not to overcook or undercook the players. Ultimately, it's a prep phase, really. It's the season that matters. But no, the last couple of months have been great. And, getting out the house a couple of nights a week, when has been permitted, obviously. Actually giving the boys a little bit of a break, I suppose, from whether the pressures of work, etc., or, being cooped up at times. And that's been great to see people. It's been a challenge, huge challenge, just trying to keep everyone safe and trying to make sure that we adhere to all the rules and the regulations. I think we've done that pretty well. In fact, I'm really proud of what we've been able to do. So, yeah, just the last, however long it's been has been difficult, but it's been a hell of a lot more difficult for other people. So we count our blessings.
It is still, unfortunately, without supporters, but how important is it that we are returning to action at the weekend?
It's a difficult question to answer, the importance of returning. I think that, we're our country's top flight. And if you look at all the other top flights around the world, they're playing. So, Wales is on a par with that. So I think that is right, and that is fit, and I think that is right, proper, sorry. So that's the first aspect. And as I mentioned, hugely excited, but obviously disappointed not to have our supporters. It's been a while since we last seen them. And football at our level, it's different, because you get to know a lot of our supporters by name. You get to see them, you get to understand their lives like they do with us. We're very much together. And, as a club, we've hugely missed our supporters. There's no doubt they make a bigger racket than most, if not all. And, yeah, I can't wait for the day that they'll be back allowed into stadiums. And look, I've never taken, particularly our supporters for granted, but football at times without no supporters is just a sanitized experience. It's soulless, and if anything, it's endorsed my thoughts on the game, where I love the game, but I love enjoying it with supporters even more.
I mean, we've got 6 games of phase one left, all packed into a very tight schedule. How demanding are you expecting the next 4 weeks to be?
Very, but we can't wait. It's going to test the squad. I think that you're going to see some random results across the league. I think that's natural. Everyone's going to be under different pressures at different times, but it's a physical, logistical, emotional, mental, physical, whatever you want to call it, psychological challenge that we'll go through, and hopefully, come out the other end as better players and better people. But no, it's a relentless program, but we're excited by it, and we feel we're in a good place. Only time will tell. It's been a bit of stop-start season so far for us, like it has for everyone. But just can't wait to hopefully get a bit of momentum into the boys now.
As I say, we start with that trip to Cefn Druids on Saturday, and who are towards the bottom of the table. But I'm sure that'll make for a very tough game to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that was our last home game, maybe the Druids game, and we won that game. Delighted with that, but no, they've grown. They played some good football, and there's no easy games in this league at all. Everyone is capable of beating everyone, and that's why I think it makes for such an exciting league. We know it's a challenge, but we go there and we're excited, and we'll give it our best, and fingers crossed we come out the other end with the points. But I know it won't be for the lack of trying for the lads. They've been training well in recent weeks, and yeah, as I said, I think that at the moment they're just excited like I am.
Can't wait to get back on Saturday. Cheers, Gav.
Likewise, thanks, man.